Bob, look what I have in my hand. It is literally hot off the press. You can touch that. It's warm. It is the Facebook filing for their IPO, the S1. It's kind of slim for an S1, but, you know, still warm. Hey,
it'll be a...
yeah, you can read that in the break when we get to it.
It'll be a bestseller tomorrow. We should also point out, though, that even if we're talking about a relatively low IPO price, this is still a very richly valued technology
Well,
company.
and in fact, that's what we're going to get to next. How much is Facebook really worth? We've got Dan Gallagher with MarketWatch joining us now from San Francisco. And Dan, that is the ultimate question, isn't it?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
How much is Facebook really worth?
Facebook, well, I mean, that'll be a question investors have to ponder over the next couple weeks. It's worth looking at, even though what we look at and see the initial total market cap seems a little lower than what people thought before. This is a company that's probably going to go out the door with something very similar to like Google, which has 10 times the annual revenue. So you can cut it one of two ways. You could say Facebook looks maybe a little low from what people thought originally, but at the same time, it's getting a pretty generous valuation. It's going to have a market cap much bigger than Hewlett-Packard, which is a huge company.
And, you know, Dan, based on any of the sort of conventional metrics, I mean, you really have to come up with new ways of valuing a network company like a Facebook in order to come up with justification, because you are talking about something that, even if profits double in 2012, is still going to be trading at a multiple of what Apple or Google are valued at.
But most certainly, and I think the magic thing a lot of people are thinking of with Facebook is here's a company that has more than 900 million users that come to its site, and it's not a tool like Google where you come and you stay for a second, get what you want, and leave. It's a destination site where you sit on. And I saw a projection today that they're projected to hit more than 1 billion users later this year. So I think those are the kind of numbers that when investors think, okay, a site that has 1 billion users coming and being engaged by it has all this monetization potential. And I think that's what a lot of people are buying on, more so than the actual numbers that they see now.
Well, Dan, does that ubiquity present a problem down the road? I mean, when you get to the point where, for instance, my mother wants to friend me on Facebook, or my mother-in-law wants to friend me on Facebook, does it lose some of the cachet when it becomes, you know, quite so ubiquitous?
You know, it's certainly possible. It may have passed that mark quite a while ago. But then the question becomes: is there something that's going to replace it that has that same sort of well-known brand? You know, the value of a social network is the people that are already there. So the bigger Facebook gets, arguably, the more valuable it is. You know, Google Plus and other social networks can basically offer similar tools. It's not that hard to to offer some of these capabilities. But the question is, do you have the same ability to tap all these people that you know? And so the more the people that come to Facebook, the more value it becomes from that perspective.
Yes, I couldn't agree more, Dan, but, and this is a big but, it's very easy to lose your users. I mean, look what happened to MySpace. It just sort of disappeared in a relatively short period of time. The users just fled, and I could see that possibly happening. I know that I find more and more of what I find on Facebook just irritating. What do you say to that?
You know, it's certainly possible. Anytime you have a technology business, even Google faces the same risk. Somebody comes up with a better search engine, it's just a click away to go to. There is something to be said about the brand these companies have. You know, Google is such a well-known brand. You Google somebody, now you meet people on Facebook. So that gives them some sort of staying power, but you're right, it's a risk. Somebody can come up and offer a better social networking tool. And, you know, unlike a lot of other businesses, you can see your users fluctuate, move pretty quickly because something else is just a click away.